Live pictures now from St. Mary's in Auglaize County. This says today's weather has prompted more snow emergencies in our area. So Auglaize, Logan, Mercer counties, they're all under level 1 snow emergencies. This means that anyone out on the roads needs to use caution. That's all because the roadways are slick. These updates are happening as temperatures continue to drop tonight.
And forecaster Timothy Boyd is in for Natalie tonight. And Tim, I know you've been tracking this throughout the night. What are you seeing?
Well, the snow showers are starting to dissipate for the night. We're just seeing a few lingering flurries, but now the big thing is the temperatures. Temperatures rapidly dropping below freezing, down into the 20s right now. 25 in Dayton, 25 in Troy, and 27 in Greenville. Richmond, 21. But it feels a lot colder than that. Those winds are blowing around 15 to 20 miles per hour as well. So wind chills right now feels like 14 in Dayton, feels like 9 out in Richmond, 16 and 15 up towards Greenville and Salina. So bitterly cold temperatures out there, and these cold temperatures are going to stick with us for a little while. We have a little bit of a hump here with the 40s on Saturday and Sunday, and they move to next week. We have temperatures dropping down into the 20s and maybe even the teens, which is significantly below our average of 37.
Tim, thanks so much. Well, if you've been to the grocery store lately, you've definitely noticed the increase in prices. For example, eggs have jumped 30% since last year. Economists say this is due to two things. So Gwen Falloon joins us live now in studio. And Gwen, what are experts telling you?
Well, Megan, the price jump is really a result of two separate things. According to Associate Professor of Economics Kevin Willardson, the first is just inflation and producers having to raise prices due to an increase in operational costs. The second is a lack of supply, likely due to a recent outbreak of bird flu.
So with some stores pricing eggs at more than $6 a dozen, are people still willing to pay that?
Well, the answer to that is both yes and no. Some are. They either can't or won't pass on eggs at the store. But Kevin also told me more and more consumers are choosing not to purchase eggs as often, cutting back on their expenses and simultaneously reducing the demand for the product. Another option is to shop locally. However, that also comes with its own challenges.
I'm seeing a lot of people, calling, texting, writing us wanting eggs. And I just have to say, I'm sorry, I can put you on the wait list and I'll call you when we start getting eggs again.
Sometimes 3 or 4 calls a day.
And as for when you can expect to see some cheaper prices, Kevin says by this time next year. He told me the egg industry is highly competitive, so as long as there isn't another outbreak or a supply issue, it should bounce right back. Back to you.
Gwen, thanks. With 2 special counsels now investigating 2 U.S. presidents over their handling of classified material, many are asking the U.S. Attorney General tonight if the counsels will coordinate any announcements on their investigations. This was his response.
People we choose for special counsel are experienced prosecutors with experience in the Justice Department. They know how the Justice Department works. They know what the department's practices are. And I'm fully confident that they will resolve these matters one way or the other in the highest traditions of the department.
The FBI director was asked about concern that classified documents have turned up where they shouldn't. Christopher Wray says the Bureau has for years investigated potential mishandling in that, unfortunately, it's a regular part of the agency's counterintelligence programs.
People need to be conscious of the rules regarding classified information and appropriate handling of them. Those rules are there for a reason.
Now, President Biden and former President Trump are both subject to those special counsel probes. Garland yesterday refused to say what, if any, action he'll take toward former Vice President Mike Pence after classified documents were found in his Indiana home.
Congressman Mike Turner was recently appointed chairman of the Select Committee on Intelligence. That's a high-ranking position and is responsible for oversight of the committee that has access to sensitive information involving top-secret security info. In a one-on-one interview today, Congressman Turner told us he is honored to take the role and ready to make change.
The Intelligence Committee has to be refocused back to national security. It had sort of lost its way over the last couple of years and become far too partisan. My goal is to make certain that we focus on national security, what our adversaries are doing, how we can support our adversaries, and how we can make our country safe.
Congressman Turner also says that he wants to continue his work helping Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Well, it is now tax filing season, and many of us are going to be turning to online services or tax preparers for help. But you need to be aware of scams that could land you on the IRS's radar. Melina Brown spoke with the IRS about how to identify scammers and some options to file for free.
Scam artists are getting a lot better at being able to con people out of a lot of money. Unfortunately, when it comes to your taxes in the IRS, any legal consequences will fall back on you. So it's essential to know who you think you have working for you.
One thing you could do is ask for their PTIN, which is an IRS preparer tax identification number. And all paid preparers should have one of those.
Scam artists will use harsh scare tactics like demanding immediate payments or demanding specific payments like gift cards. They also will try and impersonate the IRS and threaten you with legal action or say that they're going to suspend or cancel your Social Security number. It's important to know the IRS will never do this. For Dayton 24/7 Now News, I'm Melena Brown.
Melena, thanks. 5 former Memphis, Tennessee police officers are charged with murder. That's in connection with the violent arrest and death of 29-year-old Tyree Nichols. The 5 are charged with second-degree murder, aggravated assault, aggravated kidnapping, official misconduct, and official oppression. The district attorney says all 5 ex-officers face the same charges because they all played a role in it.
While each of the 5 individuals played a different role in the incident in question, the actions of all of them resulted in the death of Tyree Nichols, and they are all responsible.
All 5 have been fired from the department and remain in custody. Body camera and street camera footage will be released to the public sometime after 6 tomorrow night. Law enforcement officials say they're sickened by what they saw in the video.
In a word, it's absolutely appalling. Let me be clear. What happened here does not at all reflect proper policing. This was wrong. This was criminal.
The hope is the case will lead to broader discussions about police reform there.
We're learning new information about a fire at a Beaver Creek hotel tonight. Lydia Bice is back at the Now Desk. And Lydia, what exactly happened there?
Well, crews were called to the suburban extended stay hotel on Germany Lane this evening after a fire started inside of one of the rooms. Now, luckily, according to Nathan Heister, division chief with Beaver Creek Township Fire Department, the hotel's sprinkler systems were able to quickly put out the fire. However, those sprinkler systems caused water damage to numerous other rooms.
And Lydia, do we know anything about the people who were staying there? Where are they now?
Well, the water damage is displacing several residents, but Chief Heister says that his crews will be working with the Beaver Creek Township Fire Auxiliary to find different places for those residents to stay. Now, he also says that the investigation is still ongoing as to what originally caused the fire. Back to you.
Lydia, thanks. 4 months after a man is gunned down in front of his 3-year-old son in Middletown, his family still waiting on the wheels of justice to turn. Luke Jones shares why they're convinced he was betrayed by someone he considered a friend.
Nas McVeigh was a man who left a strong impression.
When he walked in the room, it was just something about him.
And his abrupt and violent death last September has left his family with a whole lot of pain.
Nas is at peace, but we're still here suffering.
September 13th, Lisa McVeigh says her son had just left a peewee football field with his 3-year-old son. A friend had asked McVeigh to give him a ride home, but shortly after getting to his friend's house at Young and Woodlawn,
someone called Nas on the phone. Nas walked back to the vehicle they all had got out of.
McVeigh says a white car was waiting for her son. A car witnesses say had been circling the block. Someone inside opened fire, hitting and killing McVeigh as his 3-year-old son watched from a porch.
Which has been heartbreaking in itself, just trying to redirect his thoughts and thinking of his dad in a better light than what he saw.
Middletown police tell us there are no new updates in the case. His family is urging anyone who might know something to change that. In Cincinnati, I'm Luke Jones.
Cincinnati's Mayor Aftab Piraval's presenting Damar Hamlin's care team at UC Medical Center with a key to the city. This marks the 4th key given out during his time in office. He says the care team earned it after treating Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin, who suffered cardiac arrest during a game. The medical staff saved his life. Mayor Piraval says that this incident could not have happened at a better place. He says the professionals at UC represent the absolute best in their field and adds that the city of Cincinnati is just grateful for the heroic expert care they offer patients every single day.
While Damar Hamlin's case was noteworthy because it was on national television, it was not noteworthy for the care that he got, because every single person, whether a professional athlete or someone just off the street receives the same kind of exceptional, first-in-class care that takes place here at UC.
UC Health is Greater Cincinnati's only verified level 1 adult trauma center.
Orange and black merchandise flying off the shelves. People can't seem to get enough of the Bengals jerseys, sweatshirts, and hats. But David Winter headed out today to find those things for Bengals fans who think they already have everything.
Here at the massive party source in Bellevue, all kinds of items for the Bengals fan who has everything. Check out these. This is a cigar that is wax dipped, perfect for the Joe Burrow fan. And this is a cinnamon whiskey, no refund needed. And for the Bengals fan with more discerning wine taste, this is a Bengals Sauvignon Blanc out of California. It says it pairs well with tailgates and watch parties. It goes for $27.99. This is a Cabernet Sauvignon. It is worth the $54.99 a bottle just for the etched glass with the B and the stripes. Really cool. And here at the Bengals Pro Shop at Paycor, it's not just all about jerseys and sweatshirts and hats and bobbleheads. Joe Burrow? Seriously? We found this Bengals Garden Gnome Christmas ornament. What do you think?
Nice. I like that. Yeah.
Think you might
I've
get
actually got a bigger one at home.
Wow.
Already. Yeah.
Okay. How about a Joe Burrow apron?
That's cool. I really like that. I've actually got a Bengals one at home I use as well. And for tailgates. So, yeah, I've got both of those items.
That was David Winter reporting. David found a lot of interesting things, including Bengals pacifiers, toothbrushes, a Bengals pizza cutter, and a set of Bengals knives, along with a custom cutting board for all the Bengals essentials.
Well, turns out most everyone is going to be joining Who Dey Nation this weekend. A Twitter study using geotag data revealed the team every state is going to be rooting for in Sunday's NFL Conference Championship games. The Bengals have apparently tugged on America's heartstring as they pulled in the most states with 23 in total. The majority of the country is rooting for the AFC teams, with the total being 42 states compared to just 8 states for the NFC.
Still had a 50-car pileup, killing 4 just before Christmas. The body camera footage just released today as investigations continue.
And this week marks the anniversary of one of the most severe winter events in local history. Coming up, a look back in time at the blizzard of 1978.
We've also got some rain showers briefly on the way tomorrow and your full forecast coming up. Here's a look at your EcoPlumber Skycam. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
We're following breaking news out of Riverside tonight. Live pictures now from the McMahon's Mobile Home Park, where crews have responded to a fire there. This happened within the last hour. Now, at this time, we're still working to learn how it started, if anybody was hurt out of this. We do obviously have a crew there trying to get more information. As soon as we learn anything new, we will alert you on air and online at Dayton247now.com.
New video tonight from the Ohio State Highway Patrol troopers just releasing body cam footage from a 50-car pileup that killed 4. Now, you may remember this happened right before Christmas on December 23rd. The investigation into this massive crash still ongoing tonight. Once it's complete, though, we're told prosecutors are going to have to decide if any charges should be filed.
Well, this week marks the anniversary of the blizzard of 1978. So from January 25th to the 27th, between 1 and 3 feet of snow fell in Ohio. Winds averaged between 50 and 70 miles per hour, creating snow drifts as deep as 25 feet. With temperatures already hovering near zero, the wind chill was deadly, reaching 60 below zero. Over 70 people died in that storm. 51 of the victims were here in Ohio.
Yeah, that was a really big storm. The low pressure on that system was similar to that of a low pressure of a hurricane, which you don't really see often over land. Largest 24-hour snow total in Dayton's history still held for that storm, 12.2 inches, which fell on the 26th. The monthly highest snowfall is also still held by that storm, 40.2 inches for the Dayton metro. And then, really interesting fact, the last of the snow from that blizzard melted on May 5th in northwest Ohio. So really stuck around for a long time. I believe the snowfall for that year was like 62.7 inches. That was also a really significant number for our region. Tonight, though, 21 degrees, 20 degrees, clearing out. Slick spots possible from the precipitation we had today, so just keep that eye out if you're out on the roads. Going to be a cold one to start tomorrow. Maybe a few rays of sunshine in the morning, but clearing out afternoon. Excuse me, not clearing out, clouds building in. Afternoon. Overcast conditions. Might see a few snowflakes before transitioning over to rain, but mostly going to be some quick rain showers that we see in the afternoon. Temperatures trying to jump up to right around 40 degrees.
Tim, thanks. The Pentagon today downplaying Russia's insistence that U.S. tanks are being delivered to Ukraine is an escalation. Russian officials call it extremely dangerous, shifting the conflict to a new level of confrontation. The Pentagon press secretary or deputy press secretary says that is not the case.
We, of course, take what Russia says seriously. I think we've just heard that line before, that every time we announce a new round of security assistance, they always seem to say, well, this is escalatory. Again, what is escalatory is them continuing this war each and every day where, Vladimir Putin could make the decision tomorrow to end it.
Now, Singh reiterated the Pentagon has seen no indication Russia intends to use nuclear weapons, and that the U.S. remains committed to providing Ukraine with what it needs on the battlefield for the long run. President Biden, he was in Virginia today giving his first major economic speech of the year, and in it, he cheered the news of a higher than expected GDP growth in the last year's fourth quarter and highlighted the number of manufacturing jobs created in the CHIPS Act. The president also used the opportunity to criticize the new policies proposed by congressional Republicans, which he says would spark chaos in the economy.
They want to cut your Social Security and Medicare. No, this is the God's truth. It's almost unbelievable. And beyond that, they're actually threatening to have us default on the American debt, a debt that's been accumulated over 230 years, okay?
House Speaker Kevin McCarthy had some strong words for the president earlier this week.
Your party has been in power for 4 years. You increased discretionary spending by 30%, $400 billion. I want to look the president in the eye and tell me there's not $1 of wasteful spending in government? Who believes that?
McCarthy called on the president to schedule a date to discuss the nation's debt. Analysts say the president is laying the groundwork for re-election. However, the president has not officially announced plans to run again.
All right, a live look from our Eco Plumber Sky Cam tonight. Cold and gray day, and it looks like we have a lot more of that in store, Tim.
Yeah, a lot more cloudy gloominess. Hope you're ready for it. The snow showers are starting to move off to our east, though. Clearing out here. Still could see a few overnight tonight, but mostly out of the way. 6 a.m. temperatures dropping into the teens and 20s. Might see some sunshine down by Oxford Milltown, but generally going to be cloudy, and then around lunchtime sun tries to come out, but then the clouds build back in. But take a look, we're almost around lunchtime and we're still sitting in the 20s, so it's going to be cold tomorrow. Until the clouds build back in, some warm air is going to come with it. So we might see a few snowflakes briefly before it transitioned over to a quick burst of rain. That'll quickly exit the region as well. By 2 a.m. we're looking at temperatures in the 20s with mostly cloudy conditions. Temperatures jumping up into the 40s, and we are watching our next weather maker to come in late Saturday night and into the day on Sunday. That'll bring us some more rain showers. We'll have more on that in your full forecast.
Tim, thanks. Homelessness back on the rise in Montgomery County. The annual count held just today to figure out just how many are without a permanent place to stay. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now. The Gem City Market has brought back the We Got You program for any EBT or SNAP users. The program allows for the market to match those eligible purchases at 50%. That means that families can purchase what they need from the market for half the cost when using an EBT or SNAP card. Eligible purchases including items such as fresh produce, milk, cold deli items, meat, canned goods, and much more. It all starts on January 22nd and is going to last until the donation allotment runs out.
Amazon buying hundreds of more acres of land in Licking County. It was a purchase of over 390 acres that cost over $100 million. Now, this being a direct response of the incoming Intel factory in that area, which began developing nearly 1,000 acres of land nearby a year ago. A spokesperson for the city of New Albany said Amazon hasn't submitted plans for that land and could not say what the area would be used for.
Montgomery County holding its annual point-in-time count today. The pig count gives community leaders an idea of how many people in the area experience homelessness. Today's number will be released in March. It includes everyone living in an emergency shelter or sleeping unsheltered in cars, wooded areas, or abandoned buildings. Community leaders say the Memorial Day tornadoes that destroyed thousands of living spaces in 2019 are still impacting the area.
That just makes it even harder. It impacts that length of stay that we talked about earlier. People are in housing, they have a subsidy that can help pay their rent and the portion that they'll pay the rest of, and we just need more available units.
Now, volunteers dispersed throughout the entire county to make that count. In 2021, the PIC count found 478 people from 417 households in Montgomery County.
The Bengals could have the best quarterback in football. Why some believe this is possible if the Bengals beat the Chiefs this coming Sunday.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Hello, I'm Matt Digby with a look at sports. 3 more days until the AFC Championship game, which for the second straight year sees the Cincinnati Bengals headed to Kansas City to play the Chiefs. A chance for the Bengals to win a 4th game against Patrick Mahomes, who is the favorite right now to win this year's NFL MVP honor. But Justin Kinner of Wing 1410 AM tells us that Bengals QB Joe Burrow is not far off from taking command of that conversation.
That door will be cracked open to talk about Joe Burrow as the best quarterback in the NFL if he beats him again at Arrowhead. Back-to-back seasons, AFC Championship game, and especially if the Bengals go on to win the Super Bowl. I mean, the expectations for them are actually supposed to be higher this season because last year there was no expectations. They were playing with house money. If they would have lost that first playoff game against the Raiders last year, so be it. They weren't even supposed to be in the playoffs. I don't believe there was a lot of pressure on them last year. This year's a little different because now they're no longer that. They're still a feel-good story, but they have expectations now. It's where they didn't last year.
And 6:30 is the scheduled kickoff in Kansas City on Sunday. Meanwhile, during high school football season, each of the schools we featured on Thursday Night Lights had a featured Scholar Athlete of the Week. On Thursday, one student was named the Thursday Night Lights Jeff Schmidt Auto Group Scholar Athlete of the Year. Butler High School senior Eleanor Tao is the recipient of a $5,000 scholarship. She is the Thursday Night Lights Jeff Schmidt Auto Group Scholar Athlete of the Year. Tao has competed both in cross country and track and field for the Aviators, while also participating in many non-sports activities, including National Honor Society, after-school youth mentoring, and choir. She says being a part of so many activities has made her time at Butler High School enjoyable.
It's really enhanced my experience, making new friendships with teammates and getting to know people on other teams. It's really been nice. I feel very grateful and very surprised. I'm just so grateful for this opportunity.
We're very honored to be a part of it, and looking through it was really a